Hey there, everybody. It's Tanya at Hummingbird Paintery. Tonight we are in an event with Memphis Belle's Creative Circle. It's the MacGyver event that I've been waiting like a month to do. I can't wait to show y'all what I'm doing. And my throat is dry, so I'm waiting on some people to come on here. And I will show you. Hey, Miss Rose, how are you doing tonight? Normally, I am on my way to getting ready for bed and everything. I'm not this late of a person. Hey, Miss Brittany, how are you doing? Hey, Miss Donna, it's good to see you. Thank you all for being here. And if you haven't seen all of the other crafters, then please go back on Memphis Belle's page. Hey, Miss Hope. Hey, Carol Smith, it's so good to see you. Hey, Allison, it's good to see you. Make sure you go back and look at all of the crafters. I just followed Stephanie with the Vintage Pebble, and she's funny, and her topiary was just adorable. So go back and watch that, and everybody else, Justin and Elizabeth and Lindy, and everybody else. Hey, Miss Pat. Hey, Debbie. Hey, Michelle, it's so good to see everybody. Hey, Miss B, I'm seeing all of my followers and then some. Thank you for coming. Hey, Carol. There's a lot of Carols. And Miss Pat Tyner and Miss Jenny and Lynn, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Donna. I appreciate that. Thank you for all the hearts, everybody. Good evening, Miss Pat. Hey, Renee, it's good to see you. Hey, Marie, it's good to see you. You found me, yay. Hey, Sarah. I know I've really learned a lot today, so I really want to make a couple of these things. I have made a gnome before, but not as quickly as Justin did it earlier. Hey, Lindy. Hey, Miss Kristen. How are you doing? Hey, Vicki Snyder. So my throat is a little bit dry, so hopefully I can get through this. Hey, Miss Kathy Glover, it's so good to see you. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Sarah, and thank you for the hearts, everybody. Miss Brenda, I'm glad you found me. Hey, Trish, with Love and Life Jewelry, y'all. She started us out this morning really good, and I appreciate her. Hey, Miss Peggy, it's good to see you, and Debbie and everybody, okay? So we're going to get started. Since I'm last, I really don't have an hour. I could take as long as I want to, but let's try to keep it as quickly as we can, because I'm sure everybody's ready to wind down their Saturday night. Hey, Miss Hannah, it's good to see you. Thank you for painting the page, Miss Pat. So I had this piece of wood here. I'm going to be using the side that doesn't have this stripe here. I don't know why it did this. But when I stained it, this is what happened. Hey, Miss Nelda. So I'm going to be using this as my front. So everything is going to be facing towards me. And you'll be seeing the back. But it is mostly stained except for that one little stripe there that's a little bit lighter. We're going to be using some black and white paint. You can use any type. I've got two different color of reds here. My stick is going to be literally an outdoor stick off of a tree. I took this off a long time ago. I thought this one was a cute piece, so this is what we're going to be using. And I do want to put it on first because I want to make sure that it dries on here, so it will be the first thing that I do. I do have my super glue gel, and we're going to be using some hot glue as well. And I've also got some balls. Okay, this is what I'm going to use for my ball. I'm actually using two of them. This one is a little bit bigger than the one that I finished. I had to finish it early because part of it has got to dry, and there's just no way for it to dry that quickly. Okay, I've also got a piece of a what do you call that? A little piece of wood anyway, that I had it shaped into a beak. Hey, Patty Price, it's good to see you. So, I've got two different balls. I'm just like Justin. I'm using these they're not really balls, but they're knobs. And I like it because this will sit flat, and we're going to want it on top of this. This is going to be kind of a perch. Hey, Lori. Hey, Miss Janet Sherman. Hey, Patty Willard. Hey, Miss Betty. It's good to see you. Hey, Miss Beth. And everybody that I'm always used to seeing. Hey, Michelle. I'm so glad y'all are here. And all of the new people, welcome. I hope you like my page. Hey, Miss Judy. All right, so I've got 2 of these, all right? I'm going to we're going to glue this to the top here. This was the first thing that I thought of when we were trying to pick a letter, a stick, and a ball. I wanted to do a wooden ball because, I don't know, I just had this idea, and this is what it's going to come out to be. Hey, Sheila, it's good to see you. So we're going to do it just like this, and I'm going to take some of the glue gel, and we're going to put it on the bottom here, and I'm just going to put this glue gel on here because you want it to stick and to stay there, okay? And then we're going to use some hot glue. And I'm going to show y'all how I did this, but I do have the completed version of it. All right, we want to make sure that this flat part is on the bottom. So I'm going to set it here for just a second. And then I'm going to hold it for just a second, okay? This is what it looks like. And it didn't look exactly like what I wanted it to look like. So I ended up using some clay to kind of mold it together, and that's what I mean that it needs to dry. Hey, Beverly. So we also have to take our little dowel piece. That's the word I couldn't figure out a minute ago. Thank you, Sharon. And so I took the sander to it, and I've made it pointy on the end. So we are going to use some super glue gel again to put this part on. And we're going to use a little bit of hot glue as well. And we're going to put it on the front here of the bird is what it's going to be. If you haven't guessed already with my word choice of perch and all that kind of stuff. Now this does make a smell. So you want to make sure. All right. So this is what it's going to look like, okay? So I've got it just like this. Now it will need some time to set up. You do not want to paint it or use it while it's like this. I'm going to show you basically what I did for the glue. Well, I say glue, but to hold it together because I wanted to make it look like more of a bird instead of 2 pieces of wood with a little stick on the front, okay? So I took some of this air dry clay. If y'all have seen some of the other crafters like Lee with the Turquoise Valentine, she uses it a good bit. And I use it occasionally, and this is one of those times. I am going to be painting a little bit today because what I did was, and you'll need some water as well because the air dry clay, you want to push this into this area, and I only want a little bit so far. I don't want a whole lot, and I've kind of got too much on here. You want to put it in layers on there and kind of make it look more like a bird. I'm trying to make it look more like a bird, but you need a little bit of water. I don't know if y'all have ever use this clay, but you want to cover up where they're connected together so it doesn't look like it's 2 pieces. You want it to look more like a bird. You know it'll be cute, Miss June. I hope so. Let's see what we got here. You want to make sure that you kind of hold it. I'm trying not to make it come off because this hasn't had time to dry like the other one. But I dried it and then I did this portion, but we're going to show you tonight how to do this. And I'm going to get just a little dab more right here. And you just need your water, okay? Because you want to smooth it out. And I'll show you what it looks like. So we want to make sure. And once this dries, this will be on really good. Thank you, Miss Sarah. Thank you so much. Thank you, Celeste. Thank y'all for coming on here. I really appreciate it. All right, so you see how this is? It looks like one cohesive bird right here. But we also want to make sure that we make, this is supposed to be a cardinal. Okay, so let me get some more water. And I'm going to put the top to this. I kind of just made almost like a little rooster type top because that's kind of what it's like on here. Let's see. I don't want quite so much. Hey, Miss Deborah, thank you for coming on. Hey, Diana Starkey, thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Now, I'm going to flatten this a little bit. And we're going to just stick it on here because they kind of have that little feathery look up at the top. And I'm kind of just doing it like that, but you're going to need some water so you can just kind of rub this, and you want it to be right up above. And it's just going to take a hot minute here to kind of push this down. I don't want it so much off of his head though. But you know how the birds kind of go. So this is what I'm doing. Let me push on it a little bit and push it down. And it might have a little bit too much, so I'm going to take a little bit of this off. And then we're just going to pinch it down at the back. We are going to get to some painting here in just a second, but I just wanted to show y'all this because it's not going to dry enough. You need the cardinal. All right. So get a little bit of water when it tries to separate. All right. And then we've also got a piece. This was just an extra piece that I had. Now, I did cut this one, but the other one I did not. Okay, so we're going to stick this on the back right here, and then it's going to look more like a cardinal or a bird of some sort anyway. So I'm going to take this super glue, and we're going to put this on the back of here. Just like this. I'm going to put it on both sides, and then we're going to put some hot glue in the middle so it'll hold. And then we're going to stick it on, okay? And this really needs to sit up for at least 24 hours. I would say in the morning it'll be fine. It's really not 24. But this is what it's going to look like. And you can take something, a paintbrush or whatever, and get some of the glue off here. You are going to paint over it, so it really doesn't matter. Okay? So here is the bird. And this will have to sit here, like I said, for 24 hours. So I wouldn't be able to paint it or anything. You know, I'd be painting it and we would just say, woo, I don't know. All right. So I'm going to just set this one aside. We will have two birds, and I made a little bit bigger bird. Okay. Here's the one that I finished. It's dry and this is hard. This is on here good. And we've got it all finished, okay? So we're going to paint this, but we're not going to do it just yet because while we paint our bird, we want all of this to dry, okay? Thank you, Miss Rose, for painting the page. Hey, Miss Regina. It's good to see you, girl. All right, so I'm going to put this back in the plastic over here because this will dry out. And I don't want that to happen because I like my stuff, and it's expensive. It's like $12 or $13 now, where it used to be like 10 or 11, and it's just ridiculously expensive, okay? So what I'm going to do is, this is going to represent a tree, okay? And this is going to be part of the tree. Hey, Darlene Fulcher, thank you for coming. All right, so what I'm doing is, I'm wanting the bird to sit back here. All right, so I'm just looking the way it's sitting on top of here. Look, I left a piece out. Oh, well. And it naturally kind of leans this way, and this part kind of sticks up. So what I'm going to do is just where it is, I'm going to move it back just a little bit, where it's naturally sitting. I'm going to just put a little bit of this glue. All right. And I'm going to hold it a little bit. I want it to be right there. It does kind of burn your eyes a little bit. You got to really watch. Now, I want to hold it for a second because I want part of it to be down, but it's okay if this sticks up. And I've got a little bit more to go on here. I'm going to put this up underneath here. And we'll get these little glue boogies off and stuff like that in a minute. Hey, Miss Debbie. Thank you so much, Miss Rose. Hey, Laurel. It's so good to see you. Thank you for all those hearts. I appreciate it. All right. So I don't know about y'all, but they look like birds that are from the winter. Hey, Miss Sharon. Hey, Marie. All right, so I've got these pieces off of some little stem that I had. I did cut these two small ones so I could have a little bit of extra on the sides here, because I kind of want to do it like this is part of the bark, okay? I'm going to take this one little bitty bit off because it's kind of thick. So I'm just going to take these and I'm going to pinch this part off so it's a lot easier to get underneath here. Because I want it to look like it's supposed to belong on here. Hey, Miss Judy, thank you for coming on. So we're going to get a little bit of our glue here, and we're also going to get some glue gel and glue, hot glue, just so it'll stay. And I'm going to put this right about here. Let's see. And I'm going to put just a tiny bit of hot glue right there as well. Hey, Miss B, thank you for coming on, y'all. Let me put a little more right here, and let me just set it in it for a second. And we'll get all this extra glue off of here. Hey, Miss Sarah Moore, thank you for coming on and watching me. I appreciate you. Thank you for the hearts. Hey, Tanya, looking good, and I knew it would. Thank you so much for saying that. Hey, Miss Phyllis, it's so good to see you. All right, so we've got this, and I kind of want it to be in the middle here. So we're just going to put a little bit of the glue, just like I did before. I'm going to put a little dab right there, and then we're going to put some hot glue right here. And then we're going to stick this right here, and I'm going to hold it for a second. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Paula. I appreciate you. Hey, Miss Lana, it's so good to see you. Thank you for the hearts. All right, so we've got two. Now we've got to put this one down, so we're going to put some more of this glue right here. I'm putting a generous amount. And then I'm just going to put this right here. And then mix them a little bit. All right. So we want to hold it for a second. Hey, Miss Mary Tally. Thank you, Shalon. How are you? Appreciate you being here. Thank you so much, Miss Sharon. Thank you for watching. All right. So this is the way it looks, okay? This is the front right here. Hey, Kathy Davis. So I've got it backwards. All right, but it looks kind of like, you know, a tree and the tree limb. You can use these if you don't want to make any. You can get these semi-realistic birds at Hobby Lobby, or you can get some at Dollar Tree. They don't look quite as good. This is Dollar Tree. It's not too bad, really. Hey, Miss Gail. All right, so I got some letters also, and we're going to paint those so they'll dry before we do the bird. Okay, so make sure that you follow Memphis Belle's Creative Circle. If you haven't joined yet, please join. It's the state bird of West Virginia. Thank you, Miss Connie. So these came from Walmart, and you can use whatever you would like for your letters if you decide to do it. But I've got some letters here, and I'm not going to show you what it says, okay? Right now, we're just going to paint these, and I think we're going to paint it white because it'll show up good on the wood, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead, and we're going to pour out some white. Thank you, Maria, for those stars. I appreciate that. So I'm just going to put a good bit of the white on here. And we might need some more. I don't know. What's the name of your friend? What name is your friend? I don't know who you're talking about, friend. Hey there, Stephanie, with the vintage pebble, girl. That was so cute and clever. All right, so we're going to get a brush that I've got up here. This is just a flat brush, so it'd be a lot easier to paint. And I'm just going to paint these. You only need to do the one side, and of course, maybe the sides. Hey, Trish. Thank you for leading us this morning with that devotional. I really enjoyed it. It started out the day really well, and we've had a great day on Memphis Bells. I'm very excited that I'm part of this group. Everybody's wonderful on here. Hey, Miss Tony. So you don't have to paint the back because we are going to be putting it on this. And I kind of want to grunge these up a little bit. I may put a little brown on it just so it'll fit in with the brown. But I'm trying to get the sides here. I'm just doing it white, but we kind of want it grungy a little bit. And just so it doesn't look stark white. But we'll worry about that as soon as we get finished painting this part. Now, this isn't my normal painting. Everybody who watches me knows that I paint a lot of different characters and things like that, and do paintings. Like I did the pumpkin behind me up there with the sunflower on it the other night. On Friday, actually, last night. Hey, Gail Gordon. Thank you for coming on here. I appreciate you. So make sure that you follow my page if you're interested. Hey, Rosa Ortiz. Thank you for coming on here. You can't really tell if I don't do the sides, but if I miss a spot, it won't matter that much since this is kind of creamy color and this is white that I'm doing. Thank you, Diane, for those stars. I appreciate that. You're so sweet. Hey, Darlene Fulcher, thank you for coming on and watching me. I appreciate you. But normally we do a little bit more painting than this, but the bird is going to be a little bit too. Yes, Miss Janice, I see you. I sure do. All right. I'll have to go back and read any messages that I'm not seeing, okay? Some of the messages are going by pretty quickly, and it's kind of hard sometimes. I'm trying not to paint myself as much as I am the letters. And sometimes you just can't help it. You love the birds. I'm going to use both birds, but that one has got to sit overnight, so we're going to have to wait on that other bird, but we're going to finish this part. And I'm just trying to get the sides here as well as the front of these letters. And we'll put a little bit of brown on it, like I said. Just kind of dry brush a little brown. I'm almost finished. I want to keep it a surprise what I'm writing on here. I was trying to figure out a word. And that's the word I came up with. So we're just going to see. If y'all paid attention to what letters I have, you might can tell. All right, so I've got those letters done. Now I'm going to dry them just a little bit. They're almost dry though, because they're very thin. And the wood seems to be kind of porous. So it's taking up some of the paint. I'm not trying to do too much of the drying because there's paint on my plate right here, and I just don't want to get it all dry in case I need the white again, which I will need the white. All right, so we're just going to get a brown. Where's my brown oxide? We know I use that a whole lot. And there's also chestnut. I don't know, I think I'm going to do chestnut. It's kind of an orangey color. Kind of like rusty color, like Stephanie was using. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get a a brush, not a brown, a brush, and we're just going to put a little bit of paint on here. And then I'm going to take some of it off, and then we're just going to take these letters, and I'm just going to kind of go down a little bit. But this will be a little bit different brown. It's almost like so this is one of the letters, okay? And I'm just going to set it over here to the side. I'm just dry brushing it a little bit. That way it doesn't look stark white. Thank y'all for coming on. I appreciate you. Hey, Miss Elaine, how are you doing? So I'm taking most of the paint off. And we're just going to dry brush this on. Just like this. So here's my T. Does anybody guess what my word's going to be? Hey, Miss Debbie, thank you for coming on. All right, we got one more letter. Nope, not hummingbird, because it's a red bird. It just kind of resembles or symbolizes, not resembles, the red bird. All right, so I've got those painted, okay? They're going to dry while I finish the bird. So now we've got our bird here. We're going to paint it red. And I've got two different reds here. This is Crimson by Apple Barrel, and I didn't want it to be too bright. And then I've got like almost a dark scarlet is what it says it is. And that's what I'm going to use on there as well. So I'm going to shake this a little bit. And this kind of has a pink hue to it. And I don't want, you love hummingbirds? I know. I did this because I see these birds in the tree all the time. Where hummingbirds, I see them flitting by, very quickly. I do have a hummingbird feeder out there. All right, let me get my brush right here all cleaned up so I can paint this. I need a couple of sheets of paper towels. Create? No. Just kind of think of what a red bird symbolizes. All right, so we're just going to put this on here. And we're going to paint this, all this one red color first. And this is Crimson by Apple Barrel. You can use whatever you would like. It's going to take a couple of coats, especially where this clay is, because you're being able to see it. But I'm going to be putting that scarlet color over it. We want to do everything but the beak. I'm trying to be careful so I don't knock his little feathers up here off, because that's really what it's supposed to symbolize instead of like a rooster. You love cardinals, Miss Peggy? Me too. I like those, but obviously I like hummingbirds because that's the name of my business. I like bluebirds too, like Lindy does. I really like all birds. Hey, Darlene, peace. It's not peace, but that is very close to peace. I'm going to set this down so I can kind of hold it here. And then I'm going to paint the rest of this. Just like this. And it may need a couple of coats because we want it to be covered up. Especially where that white clay is. I didn't put it all over the ball because it didn't really need it. So we're just gonna, I have been dying to do this for weeks now. Let me make sure and get over here to the side. Paint the back of it. Piece is really close. All right, so I'm going to dry this, and then we're going to try to do one more coat on it, and then we're going to do some darker red on it. Missed a spot. Let me fix that. Easy to forget some or miss it. And see, this kind of looks like feathers a little bit. Blessed. No, not blessed. It's okay, Miss Linda. I'm just glad that you're here. I appreciate it. We're almost to 100, y'all, and there's some moth in here. How on earth? Hey, Miss Kathy. Hey, Vicki Snyder. All right. So I think we're good on that. We're going to try to do one more coat of this, and then we're going to make some shading and stuff. And this does help with the cover up. by doing a second coat. There's a little black dot on here from something. I probably touched some black at some point. But it was on here before I painted. Calm. Not calm. You know, I kind of think of when someone goes to heaven. When I see a red bird, they come back down. And the cardinal tells you that your loved one is near. And that's what I'm thinking of when I did this. All right, let me see if I can hold it really gently right here and go back over this with red. All right, let me dry it. And then we're gonna get Angel, no, not Angel. Comfort. Oh, that's a good one. I should have done Comfort. That's a good one. Where were you whenever I was trying to figure out a word? Hey, Judy Zeppa. Let me turn this around so I can dry this side. And this one is a little bit bigger than the other one. So I kind of want to do a male and a female. I might do that. Hey, Adriana. It's good to see you. All right. So we're going to get a little bit of orange, y'all. Let me find it here. And this is like orange from, dark orange from Craft Smart. And I'm going to use that. We're going to do the beak. And it needs, let me see, I got to poke a hole in it. Got my little skewer here. Hey, Linda Creedon, thank you for coming on. Boy, we're right at 100. Can we go to 100? It's like 98, y'all. And it was not, 100, yay! It's my first time getting 100. I'm so excited. All right. So I'm going to use this brush and we're going to go on this right here. I've got it too wet though. Cherish. That's a good word for this. Okay. It's not cherish though. Get up under here. I'm going to make sure we cover it all. I got to get the bottom. And I did just put this on my sander. I'm going to go just a little bit further than the end of this. I want it to be on here just a little bit. So I'm going past that point. And I'm going around and making sure that all the circle is there. See? Just like that. All right. Hey, Kathy Davis. No, Cindy, I see you. Poor Cindy. What's going on with Cindy? I didn't see what happened to Cindy. Hey, Kathy Bowling. Thank you for coming on here. All right, so I'm wanting my bird to go this way. So I'm going to be holding it sort of this way. Now I'm going to get my same red brush, but I want it to be the darker red. So I'm going to put this scarlet down here next to this. You want it a dark red, so you can kind of put some features on here that are darker. You want it to be a little bit darker on your tail. And I am going to put some feathers on here. We're not going to just do painting, but I want to go ahead and do that in case you see part of it. So we want a little bit down here. We would normally have a little bit right here because there's going to be a wing. So I'm going to kind of do the wing, the shape of a wing. Just like this. See how there's a different color there? Sorry for the light. There we go. You can kind of see better. Something about a word. Perfect. I don't know. So we're just going to make this look like a wing. I'm making it kind of like this. I'll show you this side. I'm going up the side here. We just want to make sure we have some dimension on the tail. Just like this. See how there's a little bit? All right. I'm going to dry this just a tad because it's kind of tacky in my hand. And I want to also put a little bit different color on the beak. I've got to do the other side as well. Haven't done that yet except for the tail. So y'all can see. Hey, Debbie Mathis, Davis. Ooh, my finger's stuck on it. Don't come off. All right. So I want to get some more on there, and we're going to do this side. And I'm just kind of making the wing. Right there. See the wing? Let me try to, there we go. You see it? Yeah, I'm going to tell you the word in just a little bit. All right. So I'm going to put a little bit of dark right in here because we don't want it to show that clay. And we're going to do some little feathering effect. We're not going to put feathers completely on it. And I also want to do a little bit on the head here. And down the back. Yeah, if I don't say anything to you and you're commenting to me, I will get back with you as soon as I read the comments later. So don't feel like I'm ignoring you. I'm just trying to get this done. All right. And I'm just trying to, I'm just going to go like this. All right. So let me try to dry it just a little. Hey, Nancy. Hey, Darlene. Good evening. We're here in Memphis, Tennessee, or actually I live in Bartlett like Lindy does with Tater Buggin'. She's my neighbor. Although we don't live in the same neighborhood. She's still my neighbor, my Bartlett neighbor. The little bird is turning out so cute. Yeah, it's getting there, isn't it? It's going to be a good one. All right, so I'm going to get the other orange out. And this right here is the darker orange, burnt orange from Craft Smart. And y'all, I really like Craft Smart paints. All right, little booger. I got a boogie in there, so I got to try to pull it out. There we go. All right, I'm just going to use a little bit. Don't want to waste my paint. And we're going to kind of do a little bit around here because I want to give it a little bit darker look. We don't want this real bright orange, but I just want that as a base. All right. So there we go. It's a little bit better now. Now I'm going to get a smaller brush. Okay, this is my tiny one. I know at 100, 100 something. Can't believe it. We're going to put feathers on this, like I said, but we're going to do it last. We need to paint the black. So I've got to pour some black on here. Cindy should win a bird. Protect. That's it, Cindy. Yes. That's the word. Protect. Because you know these birds kind of watch over you when your loved one is gone and you know, look at that. It looks like a hummingbird, y'all. Do you see that? Right there, the black. Isn't that cool? Oh my goodness, I didn't do that on purpose. Yes, protect is what it is. All right, so let me figure out what I'm going to do here. Give me just a minute and I'll talk to you. I've got to concentrate. To be able to do this. I'm doing the black, y'all. All right, so see where it's going to be? Right there. So we're kind of going to go around here. And I want to make it a little bit bigger where his eye is going to be. So we're doing a little painting tonight, just not too much. It's going to look a lot better once we get it all on there. Hey, Miss Rose Anderson, thank you for coming on. This paint is a little bit tacky, y'all. So it's better to dry in steps and to paint the rest of this after it's kind of cured a little bit, because it's just kind of hard to do it all in one setting here. You're cracking me up. What am I saying? Am I saying something funny? It's no telling. All right. So let me get on this side and we're going to do the same thing. I don't know if I can do it backwards. Let's see. All right. All right. If you don't use a little brush, this is a lot harder. Want it to come down just a little bit, kind of in a V. See how it's going to look? Right now it's only partly painted. You made it tonight. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for coming. Now I'm just going to paint all this in. So we technically didn't have to paint the red on there, but we're going to do it anyway. And this is going to kind of, here we go. Let me get all this painted and then I'll show it to you. It's looking good. All right. It's kind of tacky. All right. So here it is. Let me see here. This kind of looks funny right there. Let me fix it. All right. So now you can see it. All right. And from this side, this is what it looks like. Thank you for coming on. Hey, Miss Elaine again. It was a group effort. Yeah, y'all are guessing some really good words. All right. So, let me get this. You got to make sure that you get all the water out of your brush. I'm wanting to put a little bit of black inside here. So let me get a very tiny amount. And I want to do the same thing on the other side, and I'll show you what I'm doing. And this one actually has a little line there. All right. So here's the little beak, and I did put a little bit of the black in there to make it look like a top and a bottom. Did somebody have something go on? Did I miss the word? The word is protect. And I haven't put it on here yet. Where's my plate? Right in front of me. Hello. All right, so let me put this on here. So I've got a couple little places that my hand got stuck. All right. Now we're going to do the hardest part, which is the eye. Okay? Woo, let's see if I can do the eye. We're going to set this down just for a hot minute here. We're going to do the eye, and then we're going to put the wings on and everything. Thank you so much, Stephanie. I'm going to put a fresh thing of white, okay? Even though this white is still good, it's not as good for the... There we go. I have to have fresh white for the eyes. Hey, Kay Turner, thank you for coming on. Oh, do people need prayers? What's going on? All right, so I'm going to take this white. You don't want a lot of water in your brush, okay, when you're doing this. And I'm kind of got a little bit of water right here where I'm holding on. So we're gonna, let me dry it just a little bit, because there's a little, right where my eyeball needs to go is where there's a little bit, ow, hot, is where I need to put my white. So get a little bit of white. And you got to kind of hold your mouth the right way. Okay. Now I've got this side. Let me get this side. And this side's kind of got a little bit darker at the bottom. So let me get the little dot on here. And then we'll fix it with the black. Hey, Christy McGee, thank you for coming on. I appreciate that. All right, this has just a little bit where my hand wasn't as steady. So we're gonna fix that, and then we're gonna fix this over here. Ugh, I went too much. My hand slipped. All right, so we'll get some more white. Hey, Crystal Rodriguez, thank you for coming on, girl. Thank you for saying that, Trish. All right. And I also want a little bit right here. I'm just taking a little tiny bit of this, and I'm going to do it on both sides because, you know, just in case you're looking at it from the other way, I'm just putting a little bit of white on top of this, just like that. Do you see the little bit of white there? I've done it on both sides. Okay. Now I kind of want this to go down just a tad bit more, so we're going to do it this way. If you don't like the way something is, you can fix it. And I'm going to do the other side the same way. I want it to be a little bit better around the eye. So we're just going to go like this. I'm going to fill in where the black is supposed to go. And I'll show y'all what I'm talking about. See how I made it look just a little bit more rounded right there? You love him, Judy? He's coming together, right? All right, so I'm going to move the paint because we don't want to get feathers in paint. That'd be a hot mess, wouldn't it? All right, so I bought some red feathers, okay, because I didn't know if I had enough. And these are really cute. I got a couple of these that are small like this. These are going to be the side feathers. And I'm just going to use hot glue for this. I don't think you need the whole thing, so I'm just going to put a little bit right here. You don't need that glue gel. And I'm going to set this right here. Kind of pinch it down a little bit. Thank you so much for saying that. All right, we're going to do the same thing over here. You don't need a whole lot. And you just put it wherever you think that the wing is going to go, okay? So here are the wings. And then I feel like that the tail also needs to have a little bit on it. So I'm going to put some on either side of the tail. But it's always good. I'm going to put just a little bit down here. And I like the way this feather kind of goes up a little bit. I'm going to dab just a little bit of glue right here so it'll go this way. Let me see if I did enough dab. Yep, there we go. I want it to go like that, okay? So the same thing on this side. I got little glue stuff all over. So I got this one right here. It's not exactly, they're pretty good though. And I'm going to put this down here. And then we'll fix the top one. Okay. And then this one's kind of going that way anyway. Let me put just a tiny dab. I'm trying to barely put it on there. Okay. All right. So this is our cardinal. This is my rendition of the cardinal. Hey, Miss Barbara. Thank you for coming on. Hey, Manny, if you're on here, I haven't seen you. Thank you so much, Cindy. So here's our little birdie. All right. So what I'm going to do, I left this part right here open. And I've got this part up here that's open that I'm going to put the bird on. Now I'm just going to show this to you real quick. I'm going to put the words on first, or the word. Okay, let me see if I can do it without knocking it off. All right, so here's what it's going to look like, but we're going to put those words on, okay, or the word. I'm going to move this for right now. We're going to glue it down in a second, but we're going to put this, we're going to write protect. So let me move some of this out of the way, and we're going to get our words. And I've got to, before I put it down, I want to make sure where they go, okay? Got all these little glue boogies. All right. So this is protect, because that's our loved one. So that looks pretty good to me. So these are very light. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue. I don't think they're going to need any other kind of glue. Then the hot glue. I think these will hold on here just as well. And I don't know if that's supposed to go down there or up top, but we're going to put it on top. And hold it just for a second. Hey, Justin. Thank you for coming on. Gnome King. Fastest Gnome King. for sure. One more letter, the T for protect. All right, so let me show you that, and then we'll put the bird on there. Let me turn it around. Let me see here. Ooh, I brightened y'all up. How do I do that? It won't let me. For some reason, the bottom, it won't let me turn you around for some reason, but it's supposed to say protect, okay? And I am brighter, so that's a good thing. All right, so I'm gonna put a little bit more glue right here on this because it just looks like it needs a little dab right there. Hey, Bonnie Fish, thank you for coming on. So we're gonna get our super glue out again, and we're gonna put some right here on the bottom. I'm gonna do both. Hey, Janice, Olam. Justin, you still awake? I know it. I'm surprised that he is still here. Thank you for coming on and supporting me, Justin. You've been on for a long time today. All right. So now we're going to set this right here. And I'm going to hold it for just a second. Hey, Rosa. And I might want this to be sideways just a tad. All right. Hey, Susan Quarles, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. For all of you that aren't a member of the Memphis Belles Creative Circle, please go and join. We have an event usually every month. It depends on what we're doing. And I want y'all to join because it's great. Hey, Melissa Dickerson, thank you so much. So this is Protect, okay? And I've got the other bird that's going to go there, but it's just not dry yet. So when it is, I'll make a female version. It's still wet, even though I didn't use a whole lot. And we will put the female version kind of right here. And so it'll be one big area. So do y'all like what I did with my balls, my stick, and my letters? So we did everything. Thank you, Diane. Thank you, Elizabeth. Appreciate that. Hey, Renee, thank you for coming on. Thank you for the hearts, everybody, and everybody who gave the stars as well. Thank you so much. I hope y'all enjoyed today's event. We worked hard on this. Really, Elizabeth and Lindy did more than anybody, let me tell you. We had to last minute change a little bit. Thank you, Margaret. And I hope you'll go back and watch all of the ones that you missed today because there's been some great creatives to come up with the ball and the letter and the stick. So it's just, this is a great group. I'm happy to be part of it. Hey, Manny. Thank you, Miss Pat Tyner. Hey, Lori, thank you so much. I hope y'all enjoyed this. And I don't know if I took an hour or not. It looks like I did. Right on time, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm so glad y'all are here. And please like and follow my page. I'll appreciate that if you do. And then please come back. I'll be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. I think we're going to try to etch on some glass. So please join me at 10 a.m. in the morning as well. Thank you so much, Linda Tanner. Thank you for watching, Miss Judy. Thank you for sprinkling, Miss Sarah. I'm so glad that y'all came, and I hope y'all like my little bird. Y'all need to make one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Regina, for saying that. Thank you to Lindy and Elizabeth and Trish, everybody that was at the event. Thank you so much for being part of it. We really appreciate you. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Bye.